Welcome back to the channel, folks. Keith here from Cmonthehoopsceltic. I hope you're keeping well. I hope you like the new layout, the moving into a new house. We have a better setup now, more enthusiastic, more positive vibes for the videos, and I hope you like the jersey. So we're here to talk about Motherwell tomorrow, 3 o'clock kickoff at Celtic Park. Tough game, like every game this season. It's unpredictable. We could go out tomorrow and hammer them. We could go out and get beaten like we did last week against St. Mirren at home, which was a disaster, or we could drop points with a draw. Very unpredictable. Motherwell fighting for their lives at the moment, ninth place in the league. Won the last two games under new management. They won 2-1 against Dundee United and 2-1 against Ross County as well. So we've only recorded two victories so far this calendar year, and it hasn't been great. And we all know we're all talking about Neil Lennon. We're all talking about, is Scott Brown still good enough to play in the starting 11? We're talking about the transfer activity that happened. Wasn't enough. We sold Jeremy Frimpong. We bring in John Joe Kenny. Done quite well against Kilmarnock. It's just been a shambles this season. It really has. I'm sick of repeating myself on podcast and repeating the same stuff. But we can't go on. It's very hard to come up with positive stuff to come by that has happened. The most important thing is, at least the club's not getting relegated. At least the club's not going to administration or liquidation. That's something that's happened to clubs in the past in Scottish football. So we can hold our head up high. We've won our last 15 leagues out of the last 20 that was offering in domestic football. We've won the last 12 cup competitions as well. So let's talk about the game tomorrow. So my starting lineup, regardless of Motherwell, we beat them 3-0 at Celtic Park at the start of the season. David Turnbull, we thought he was going to get a sniff and actually start against his former club. We beat them 4-1 before the turn of the new year away. Mohamed Anusi got a hat-trick as well. So there's goals in there. There is goals in there. So in goal, I'll start with Scott Bain. Look at Scott Bain, clean sheet the other night. Quite comfortable. Not a bother to him. And fair enough, they had a chance that people said it was across the line. Look, it didn't go in. We move on from it. So Scott Bain in goal. Flat four has to be John Joe Kenny. For his debut in Rugby Park, plastic pitch. Coped quite well, looked quite solid. I was very impressed with him, so he has to start. No brainer. Left back would have to be Greg Taylor. Look at Laxall. We all talked about Laxall for the last couple of months. He was doing quite well. He dipped off performances, but he could be back in contention at Celtic Park. He is pacey, he is fast. The only thing about Laxall, his con is gives away stupid fouls. That's the only thing I don't like about Diego Laxall. Distribution of the ball, crossing, fantastic. So I'll go with Taylor. I think he's on a bit of form at the moment at the left back position. Back two has to be Welch and Oyer. Oyer's been solid. I've said it many times. I'd love to keep Oyer next season. I think he wants to leave anyway, but he's very professional what he does. He's played quite well for the team. If you give him a captain role next season, give him a bit of a wage increase, he might stay. And if you get into European football, we might get a bit of value for him as well, because he is a Norwegian international. He has settled in the Norwegian team and they're doing quite well. So I have to say, Welch has been brilliant. Welch just came in and actually plays for the jersey, so I'll pick him over Duffy and Beaton in that position. Midfield, I'll keep Broony in there. I'll give Broony 60 minutes. It means that we're missing out on Soro. Look, Soro has been class, but it's good to have two options like that, Soro and Broony. I think we need to steer the ship at home. We can't go for another embarrassing defeat 2 games in a row at home, especially against Motherwell. Can't be dealing with that, definitely not. We're looking back to St. Mirren last week. We had no plan A or we had no plan B. So we need to come in with an organised plan and hit the ground running, and Broony needs to be in there to enforce the team. Look, a lot of fans say he's past it, but let's enjoy his moments at Celtic before, if he hangs up the boots at the end of the season, he goes into coaching capacity or he goes to Hibs. We shall see. Callum McGregor has to start if he's fit. Put Callum back in there with David Turnbull. David Turnbull was outstanding the other night, very good. Obviously, he got assists. So Broony and Turnbull and McGregor in there. The Scottish partnership has to go with Ryan Christie. I thought Ryan Christie could do a bit better, you know. So this is a game for him against Motherwell, and then up front has to be Lee Griffiths and Odson Edward. Edward's on form, 4 goals in 2 games. We gotta play him. We gotta play him. You know, has to be done. Odson Edward has to play, and then Griffiths obviously just been talk about this, bust up at half time. But all we can say is play him, scores goals. It's all forgetting about. Score prediction for tomorrow. I'm going to go with 3-0 Celtic. I think, you know, clean sheet, why not Bain? Clean sheet at home. Motherwell can cause problems like most teams have at Celtic Park this season, but I fancy 3-0. Where the goal's going to come from, Odson Edward double, and I got a fancy David Turnbull for the goal. Regards to Marion Sheved, there's been a lot of talk of him. He doesn't want to come back to Celtic. He wants to get a permanent move away from the club. I don't blame him. You know, Neil, he was brought in. Brendan Rodgers scouted him. Neil Lennon brought him in, and hasn't worked for him. Hasn't worked for him whatsoever. He scored a nice goal in the European qualifiers 2 seasons ago, and that was really it. Marian Sheved, there was problems with his language barrier as well, because obviously he's a Ukrainian, didn't really learn that much English. He's in Belgium at the moment on loan, doing quite average, but there is rumours that he could be going to Genk. The Genk are in for him. He had a chance to go to Genk 2 years ago. He picked Celtic over it for a higher chance of European football. But Genk do well. They usually get into the Europa League and the Champions League. I like to see him go, you know. I don't think whoever's going to come in is going to give him a chance. So if he doesn't want to be at the club and play for the shorts, like what Jeremy Frimpong felt, let him off. Let them go. So that's really it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel. Click the notifications bell. And I'll be back tomorrow night for a chat after the game. So, hell, take care, up the Celts.